Welcome back to Cards and Comics, and today I'm going to be starting a new series. I'm calling 10 cards for $200, and really, it's about building a collection on a budget. Now, when I talk about building a collection, I'm talking about doing something that's just for PC or to create something that you're going to, on-go collect for the future. So this is something that you do for fun. It's not designed to be something you flip, or a quick flip kind of collection. But the idea is to collect cards that are fun to collect. But sometimes when you're looking at these kind of lower, say, value cards, because on average the cards are going to cost $20 a piece, you might do some get some really good deals as long as you stay strictly on budget and try to really look for the value, right? And that's what this is all about, is trying to find cards for fun at a good value, because right now with the downturn in the market and everything's kind of going in a different direction, I still love collecting, but can I do it on a cheaper budget? Can I try to build something fun without having to spend five figures on a card? Because I think it's so common now for people to talk about five-figure cards like they're a normal thing, and they're not normal for people to buy on an everyday basis. For most collectors. So this is more of a, the idea for this came from when I would go to card shows in the old days. I'd only have $100 or $200, and it's like, how do I get the biggest bang for my buck for that money? And so this is what kind of inspired me to kind of create a new series, and it's also for me to have fun in collecting, right? So the goal is to build multiple collections, and $200 is bi-weekly, so I'm going to report basically twice a month on my progress, and then give an overview as I continue to build the collections. So the collections I'm building is player collection. So King Griffey Jr., Derek Jeter, Frnk Thomas, Mike Trout, and Barry Sanders. So Barry Sanders is new for me, so I'm starting his from almost scratch. Frnk Thomas, I've been doing slow building. Jeter and Griffey are I've done a little bit more collecting. Obviously, with Griffey, I'm very farther down the road, so it's going to be fun for me to pick up sort of the cheaper side of the Griffey, because I've been so focused on these expensive cards, trying to get the more rare stuff, that I don't have a lot of the $5 to $25 Griffey cards, and this will be fun for me to go and pick those up now. And it's focusing on I call playing years, or the years that they actually played, versus retire years, and also focusing on their first team. So Griffey as a Mariner, Thomas as a White Sox. Jeter and Trout have never gone to other teams, and neither did Sanders, so that makes it a little easier for those guys. Again, focus on refractors, autographs, die cuts, parallels, game used. With autographs, you want things to be on card if you can get it. Now, we're talking like, a budget, so the cool thing is, can you pull off some of those cards on a budget? That would be the fun part. I also, Hall of Famer, so this is really around all sports, but to go and get pre-1980s, I call their actual playing cards in a PSA or SGC holder. And the idea with the grading there is to use kind of the first number of the decade for the grade. So it's a very common thing in vintage collecting to say, you want your, the minimum grade you want for 70s cards a 7, the 60s is a 6, the 50s is a 5. And then you get to the pre-war, 4s and below are great. That's the idea. If I can get a 77, I win. If I get an 8, doing even better. If I get a 60s and a 7 of a Hall of Famer, then I won. Now, I'm only collecting pre-1980s cards, so there won't be anything from the 80s or 90s in this collection. And I'm also looking for autographs, and so the autographs can be from any era. They're just an autograph on card, hopefully, of the Hall of Fame player. So the autographs can be from any time period, but the actual base cards or the cards themselves need to be from the years they played. And then lastly is modern rookie cards. And so this is really around, I call it the low cost spec. And I had a friend of mine back in Indiana that used to do this a ton. and he would buy the base cards, not the autos, the base cards and the refractors, and then grade them and flip them for a lot of money. So the idea is like, this is the only thing I'd say it was a speculation, or maybe could turn into like more value in the future, is like, low cost, low buy-in rookie cards. All sports, doesn't matter. And hold them. I think, like, for example, young guns in hockey, right? Speculate on 4 or 5 different players and young guns and hold them for a few years and see if they turn out to be a player, right? That's, you can do it $20 to $40. A few Bowman Chrome refractor rookies, see what you can do. And that's kind of my speculation, kind of like, and I won't say investing, but it's kind of like, hold the rookies and see if they grow. And I think that's always fun to do. And again, so it's trying to build something a little broad, something that's fun, put together. It's going to go in its own special part of my collection. I can look at it and just see how I'm doing on my budget side. Now, there's going to be some rules. Now, it's going to be, again, no minimum amount. So if a card's a penny, it can be a penny. Maximum is going to be $40 a card. So I don't want it to be where I spend $180 on one card and $20 for the rest of the cards. It's 10 cards per week or per 2-week period, and the total sum of all the cards cannot be greater than $200. Cost will not include shipping and taxes. This is because there's a lot of variability in how to calculate those things on the end of auction. So I'm approaching this like I went to a card show and just bought it at the sticker price. Now, and I do go card shows, so there could be in-person purchases, other means of purchasing, so that's not always going to be online. So I'm just going to exclude that for now. If you want to say it's shenanigans and I'm really spending $220 a week, well, okay, I guess you can say that. And some weeks I will, some weeks I won't, because I won't always hit the $200 margin or $200 level. And then I will keep a monthly running total, and so every month I'll do a recap on how I'm doing, and then do kind of overview just to see how the collection's growing and seeing if I'm able to pick up some really cool pieces in that $20 to $40 range, or most likely like $2 to $40 range, right? So that being said, I've got my first round of cards ready to go, and I'm going to show them off, and we'll start with round 1 right now. All right, we are back. I've got the camera set up. We'll go into the cards. I'm going to start with the cheapest and most expensive card, and I'll go and give a kind of a running total and a sum of the cost for this round 1. So this is a 2-week period of card collecting through different avenues of normal Instagram, eBay, wherever you can buy cards, right? All right, so first up is a 1996 Skybox metal, heavy metal King Griffey Jr. card. There you go. This costs $2.25. It's an insert from 96 Fleer metal or Skybox metal. So a cool set. So I give it a like a +1 because it's from a fun set. It's not that great or interesting of a card, but it's $2.25, and it's from a kind of a cool set. And there you go. So first card is the heavy metal Griffey. Next up is a more interesting card, but it's definitely got that stigma of it being a Griffey card, showing him as a red. So this is where you get a lot of deals with Griffey cards because no one seems to like him when he was a red. But this is from the 2000 Stadium Club Chrome. This is the Clear Shot Griffey. So it's die cut and it's acetate. So it looks really cool. And it's almost like a refractory surface as well. 2000 is very interesting for Griffey because in a lot of sets, he's either a red or a Mariner. So there are cards, quite a few cards from the 2000 sets that still show him as a Mariner, especially a lot of the inserts. So this is not one of them, but it is interesting that there's such a mixed bag in 2000. So I thought I kind of like the card. And again, it costs $3.80. So there you go. $3.80 for the Clear Shot Griffey. Now, next up was kind of an interesting card to me because it's graded, but not by a grading company that I guess is, top tier right now. I think CSG is still finding its way. Now this card is interesting as a 96 Top Stadium Club Fusion die cut. You can see it's a very intricate die cut with a kind of a foily surface there for 96. So it's when Sanders was playing, so that's +1. It's graded, which is +1, but it's not by SGC or PSA, so not perfect. But it's a really cool card because it's just such an intricate die cut there. Now, this card costs $7.50. And as far as just starting off a Barry Sanders collection, this is, to me, a really cool card. To start that, and I'll show you the back, you can see the die cuts there. You can see the very intricate level of die cuts on this card. So again, I think, if that card would have been a PSA 9 or 10, it would have been a much more expensive card. And again, I've told a lot of folks that I don't care as much about the grades, PC collections of star players. I just want the card. And once I get it, I'm kind of like, I have it. I don't need any more of it, and move on to the next card. Next up is a card that actually, when I got it in person, I was really impressed by it. It's the Fleer Tradition from 1998 called In the Clutch. It's this really nice green color, foily, almost refractory, and it's got an added bonus. I don't know if you see on the back, but it's embossed. So you can see that little indentation there. So not only is it foily and refractory, but it's embossed. This card costs $10.50. So again, I didn't have this card, and when I got it in person and just looked at it, it's actually a super nice looking insert set and not very expensive. So $10.50 though for the in the Clutch Griffey. Now next up is a set I never actually collected, but it's again a new PC collection for me. So here is. Now, this is the 1997 Score Franchise Enhanced. So they made it kind of foily, I think. This is the Barry Sanders. And, I just like, this is such a clean looking card. Very foily. And then you've got that almost like embossing. You can almost see it on the back. So there's a lot of cool things about this card. That embossing is coming from the stitches on the front. Just a cool card. I think a lot of people don't really know about the set too much, the enhanced version of the set. But these were kind of like pretty good hits for the product. And I think, a lot of people just like the design. But, for this card was $13.94. So, pretty inexpensive for a very nice looking card, I think. Now, next up is my first Hall of Famer card, and this is a 1979 Walter Payton Topps Record Breaker PSA 8, and I was actually shocked to be able to get this card because it's a little off center, I agree, but still a PSA 8, but it came in at $22.59. So there you go, a Walter Payton record breaker. And we've seen where the record breaker and league leader cards in baseball have really taken off. So this card is a cool card. It's definitely, a card that I think people, in the future would like in terms of Hall of Fame cards. Because, Walter Payton doesn't have a whole ton of cards, honestly. And to me, this card was surprisingly at $22.59 to be available, to get, to buy, and because grading is like $50 still today. So you can't get this card graded today. And I thought I was kind of shocked to buy that card. Next up is another graded card. And again, this is that whole 2000 Griffey thing. So this is a set I never collected, the Pacific Vanguard set. And this is, it's very shiny. It's got a unique design, kind of the dots there and how kind of the halo around Griffey there. Now this is the premiere date. So this is actually a parallel. And I'm going to try to find, yeah, there it is. It's in that right there. It is numbered, I want to say, I'm trying to get it in the right. 6 of 135. So it is actually numbered to 135. So again, this is a graded card. It's got some really nice design to it. It's graded PSA 8. It's numbered to 135. And again, if this would have been 1 year earlier, this card would be a lot more expensive because it'd be as a Mariner. And this card cost $25.28 for a PSA graded number to 135 Griffey from 2000. So pretty stoked. Again, good value for my player collecting set. And again, when you're in this, trying to get value and knowing that you're not going to get the OG, like really expensive Griffeys from the 90s, but getting really cool numbered cards from a little later in his career as a player collector is still cool because a lot of good value there. But knowing that those cards are actually a little bit rare, 135 for that card in terms of print run. Next up is some modern rookie cards. So here is a fuchsia lava refractor from 22 Bowman. And this is Ian Lewis, and they're numbered to 199. You see that right there. And there you go. Just kind of an interesting looking refractor. They keep changing refractor designs and prism designs every year. So I guess this is a fuchsia lava, whatever. But again, it's just a card I'm going to hold, and maybe one of these days I'll grade it. Who knows? But it's one of those cards where it's kind of that early spec play for this guy. And then next up is a similar one, but a little bit more of a known player. This is 21 Bowman Draft Chrome Refractor Jordan Lawlar. And sorry, the Ian Lewis was $28. This was $30.67. So you can see I'm getting up closer to that $40 range. But again, it's a unfortunately they don't number the refractors like they used to in the old days where every refractor was numbered, but it's still a cool card, and I'm very happy that we have I call it like more of a name refractor rookie for Jordan Lawlar. Even though Ian Lewis is fairly popular, the Jordan Lawlar is a much more hyped up prospect. So I was glad to pick up this card. Again, it's a nice little spec card. You can see where like a guy like Wander Franco, where his his first Bowman Chrome refractors sell pretty well. So does Julio Rodriguez. And when these rookies come up, so it is a card that you could hold, and if he does have hype and come up, get it graded, and you might be able to sell it for more than the $30.67 it cost. Last and definitely least, because I actually don't have this card in hand because it's at my work where it was shipped to me. I left it at my office, so I'll put a photo of it on the video so you can see what it looks like. But it is a 2021 Topps Chrome Sepia Refractor Mike Trout PSA 9, and it was $31.53. And I just feel like Trout's down right now. It's a great time to buy, but if you're a budget collector, you can get some of these refractors, maybe some of the more modern ones. But cards that normally would have been $50 to $100 a couple of years ago, now you can get for $30, $25, $30, $40. So right in the wheelhouse for what I'm trying to do in terms of what this collection from a cost perspective I'm trying to do. So I'm going to take advantage of that and buy every Trout variation and refractor I can in that $10 to $40 range. So the first one I got was 21 Topps Chrome Sepia Refractor. And that does it. So that card was $31.53. So the total cost for this first 2 weeks was $176.06. So I think even if you were to add tax to it, it would have been very close to that $200 or shipping. Been very close to the $200 range anyway. So I think I did a pretty good job on the first round. Let me know in your comments how you liked about round one, and if you thought there were some surprises, and what other cards I should go after that would be in this $20 to $40 range that's in the collections I'm going after. So But look forward to the next installment, and I'll see you next time. Bye.